Hey folks, this is Lucid. I'm back here with Sakane,
Hello, everybody.
and we are jumping back into new casting. It's turn 78. We have been motoring through these last turns. All that jibber jabbering we did at the start of the series, we have put it into high gear. So last episode we had a pretty massive war between Bogarus and Raga break out, and it looked at the beginning like things were going in Bogarus's favor, but Raga just took some extremely advantageous fights. And so now we're interested to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, so Raga's in a strong position, but Raga is not a 1v1. Raga is also dealing with the remnants of Atlantis.
Right.
And although Atlantis is weakened, they're definitely not out of the game yet.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we're waiting for Marignon to finally finish off Ulm, and then we're waiting to see where Marignon will go next.
Right. So where I want to start at Sakane is you were saying this army, which was here, you were saying they should kind of march this way and cause a distraction. Um,
Yeah,
and it appears they're pulling back, coming back in towards these lands, which looks risky.
well, because I think that army dies if it fights the major Raga army.
Yeah.
So if it fights a major Raga army, right? Any.
Right.
So you
And the
want
mage
to.
core of Raga is super mobile. So like all those
Yes.
flying mages, they can come jump behind PD and stuff too. It's actually kind of scary.
Yeah. So I don't like this move. Well, look, that army is going to die at some point, but let's have that dying fight happen like in a really inconvenient spot for Raga.
Right. Like where there's literally zero troops.
Yeah. Was
I mean, some of
forcing
this is
him.
Lemuria, so it's a little depopulated, but still.
Right, right. But in other words, giving your main army time to do something useful with your life. Now, but what's really interesting though, look at where the other major army from Bogarus went. It moved straight east.
He might be on my wavelength, thinking there's some juicy Marinese meat to be had.
Now, he could have. See, if he's. I guess, like, why not move north? Like, was he worried about, like, a clever trap from.
Oh,
Uh,
from being right here, why not go here?
yeah. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I
That.
don't think there's much of a trap. But
But
the
he
only
said.
reason I
But
would think to go east is you want to actually fight over here. Like fight
yeah.
Marignon.
But like they're still raiding each other actively, right?
I mean, I
Unless
think
they've
he's given
like,
up this fort. That's the only thing I can think of. He's given up this fort.
yeah, I think that was perhaps that's okay. I think he might have had to give up that fort in order to consolidate properly.
Yeah.
But like if you've decided okay, time to kill Marignon, then shouldn't you have a nap by now with Raga? Like they're
Maybe.
still like
Yeah.
Raga's like he's got a vampire like pretty deep in Bogarus, like near Droman. Like
Yeah. Though this is raiding
oh no,
Atlantis.
that
I'm
was
not actually
Atlantis.
sure if there was any.
Okay. I mean, they might have napped and they're just kind of reclaiming the land on each
Yeah, I don't
other's
see any really
borders.
aggressive moves from Raga here.
All right, that'll be interesting.
And
We'll
I
have
don't
to
see
follow
horror
that next
castings
turn.
from Atlantis either. I mean, from Bogarus either.
Okay, so he might have pieced out, and they might
Yeah.
just be retaking like the raided lands.
I mean, this would make sense if they pieced out and then Bogarus was like, I'm just going to march this army out of here. And then he's pulling
Yep.
them back. That's what it looks like.
Okay, well, that's definitely a legitimate outcome from Bogarus. I think the tricky thing though is how does Utgard fit into this?
Right.
Because Marignon has not yet committed to attacking Utgard. So if Bogarus attacks Marignon, it's just like a full-on 1v1, and Marignon's at full strength. So it's a bit of an anti-timing.
Right. I think so. I think now you have here Bogarus. You try to encourage Utgard to get off their bum and go do stuff.
Yep, but Marignon is going to be like, hey, you should go kill Bogarus with me. So,
No, I don't think there's a compelling argument though. Like, who's Utgard gonna attack? I mean, this is the obvious war for like taking Ulm from Marignon compared to going through like a single choke point with an enormous Hoburg squad. I don't know. I think it's very compelling to attack Marignon versus attacking Bogarus as Utgard.
yeah, if I were Utgard, I would prefer to attack Marignon with the help of Bogarus. I would,
Yeah.
that's a choice I would make for sure.
So, okay, are there
Um,
major fights to see though? Have you looked through the?
I did. There's some raids. We should look at the Atlantis versus. Yeah, that looked interesting.
Oh, somebody got
Uh,
yoinked here.
so looks like Raga and Atlantis are kind of
Yeah, I think we know what
throwing their
happens
big
here.
stuff.
Oh, I'm assuming it's going to be Wrathful Skies. Storm. Queen of Air Elementals don't necessarily do that good against these glaive dudes.
Magic weapon dudes.
Well, it was closer than I thought it'd be, actually. That Phantasmal army delayed them enough. Okay, yeah. Woo! I didn't realize this. They killed a shit ton.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's worth losing royalty to kill like 70 troops and 4 mages.
Well, I think there was some strategic significance to that battle, though.
Yeah, let's that. Yeah,
This
it might be
was,
worth it if.
well, probably not, because they weren't going to crack this, I don't think. Yeah, so you're probably right. I thought that
Yeah.
might have been the throne.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think that was not worth. I mean, they both lost, but Raga might have lost a little more.
It's just the value. Like Queens of Air Elemental are Queens of Air are just so valuable.
Yeah. Don't think that we missed too much else here. I kind of just want to get to the next turn so we can see
Yeah, what actually happened Diplo wise?
the brave mages of Gath liberating the
They all
capitals that
cast
burned to
Sermon
the
of
ground.
Courage on the first turn.
Yeah. Oh no.
They ventured out too far.
Yeah. Gath is. I love the Gath sub here. You know, he's taking him. He's trying to he's making plays, trying to keep his territory, but the sins of the past are too great.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You know, it's like that Monty Python meme with the Black Knight.
Yep. That's a good, especially because everything is starving permanently because he
Right.
pillaged. And,
They
yeah,
can't not starve.
I mean
Okay.
they're gluttons too in the first place, right? They just like they
Yeah.
eat more.
Turn
All
79.
right, so 79.
Okay, where should we start? Gath, anything happening?
I'm just looking at the messages to see. Uh,
This guy I thought was an angel kill. Okay, I know he had kitted out. This one of the things he missed. He had kitted one of these guys out with a midget masher to kill fallen angels, but not this guy.
just for fun.
Because he was having fallen angels raid him, and he's like, "I'm gonna get my cap circle back."
Fair enough.
And I think these guys are size 5 or 4. Yeah, so these guys they one hit him with midget masher, and they've got a quickness bless. So
Yeah, that's true.
anyway,
So I'm looking at the map here between Raga and Bogarus, and I can only assume that there is in fact a nap here, right? And they're just trying to like get back to the
oh
right
yeah,
side of the border.
yep, that's exactly what it looks like.
I think that's what it is, and they've agreed. Like Raga's retaking. Like it looks like they're just going back to the borders before the war.
I kind of want to see. It's always interesting after agreements like this get put in place. What happens to the score graphs? And right now, it looks like it's good for Bogarus actually, which is kind of interesting. Like if that happened last turn, Raga's had. I think it's mostly like what you were saying. How well is Atlantis doing? So for now, Atlantis is not losing the rating war horribly against Raga. But it's probably going to change as this army shifts south and comes to kill Atlantis.
Yeah, to put pressure on, I think, Atlantis's cap itself.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting, though, is if they've made peace, you would expect this army to check out and go south faster. But it hasn't. It's been hanging out. You know? But
yeah.
And this army, which was here from Bogarus, has indeed moved farther towards Marignon.
Farther east.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know the exact timings of the Diplo, but Marignon. So Marignon is okay. Finally kills Ulm.
I've never seen bloodletting so much as I've seen it in this game. Like, look at all this bloodletting.
Yeah.
Killing his own shit. It's hilarious.
Some guy's running here.
Sorry, he does more damage to himself with bloodletting. I mean, it's not that bad, but well, it's kind of bad actually.
I mean, it's
pretty bad.
It's way worse. It's 46 hands of justice.
These guys couldn't have killed that much stuff if they had to.
Yeah. They didn't literally. You could look at the kills. It's all the bloodletters.
Oh yeah, these guys collectively killed
like
40 dudes.
40 dudes, yeah.
Oh my god. I read in a guide somewhere bloodletting's good.
So here, consider this as a high level Diplo play from Bogarus. He hasn't yet ended nap with Marignon. So far, there's only that one army that's kind of been moving, to the east, but nothing else has really shown up on Marignon's borders
until now.
Yeah, but like I said, there's only that one army. It might not be super suspicious, and the idea is let Marignon start the war with Utgard.
But see, there's some weird things. Like, look, this army from Utgard has moved over here. I don't know what he's doing.
All right, fair enough. I'm not saying this is a foolproof plan, but what if, right? What if you just wait a couple turns? You have to recover for whatever reason, right? You had to rebuild some army.
Yeah. Let
Marignon commit to a war with Utgard. It looks like Marignon is raiding with his fallen angels, and bumping Gath. Not Raga, right?
Oh, this isn't a bump on Raga. This is an attack.
Right. Like, is that negotiated or not? Like, because if Marignon is starting to fight with Raga, and maybe is getting involved with Utgard, then you end your nap. Right?
Yeah.
That would be the move. Because it doesn't make sense. If Bogarus 2 turns ago, if Bogarus signed a nap with Raga and then ended the nap with Marignon the same turn, why is Marignon attacking Raga?
Do we know they had a nap?
Who, Marignon and Raga?
And Bogarus.
You mean Bogarus and Marignon?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They did, okay.
I remember that from they pieced out.
Okay.
Remember they were fighting over Abyssia.
Well, I'm kind of inclined to just see what happens.
Yeah, well, we didn't see, we saw what there was to see. Ulm finally fell.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any other battles. Well, was there anything else in terms of Atlantis, Raga?
I guess we have to tell people to pour one out. Pour one out for Ulm, everyone. F's in chat, as they say.
Maybe we should. So now, since Ulm was eliminated, I do want to see what happens, but maybe we should do a bit of a recap for Ulm.
Yeah.
Now that they've been finally eliminated.
Let's each give one thing we think Ulm could have done better, maybe. Or how do you want to do it?
Sure. Yeah.
One thing they did well, one thing they could have done better.
Yeah. I think in terms, I'm trying to remember like way back uh, at the beginning when we were casting this a long time ago. Um, but I seem to recall um, a lot of indecision with Ulm as to what war to take first, and I'm pretty sure that for a long time we were like, Ulm, you need to go attack Gath.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Ulm, like his mistake was not to have a first war.
Right.
And so everybody else had their first war. Some people lost and were eliminated, and then other people now have two caps.
Right.
But Ulm didn't do that, so he just stayed like one cap with 15 provinces or whatever. And then it's awkward because all your neighbors are twice your size. So then what do you do?
It becomes very hard to win the second war when you didn't win your first one.
So, guys, and when you're playing Dominions, you have to have a first war. Obviously, you want to win it, but
you can't always win it.
Well, right, but you can't. If you have your first war and lose it, then you lost the game and you're eliminated. And two, right?
Yeah.
But the only way to win the game is by winning many wars, and therefore there has to be a first one that you win. So you have to. But you want to have
your first one before everybody's having their second one.
Right, like you have to have many wars. One of them is going to be the first. So just go for do it, right?
Yeah. Now there are some nations that can get away with turtling and jumping into a second war if they have some timing or something. So it's not like something you always have to do.
Yeah,
but it's an exception to the rule, I think.
Well, and that's interesting because LA Ulm could kind of do a turtle into vampire strategy.
Right.
But that's not what this player went for, so it's kind of I guess inexcusable in that sense. But yeah, that would be my main issue with Ulm.
But even if you do have a turtle strategy, you need to have your eyes open for opportunities, and there was a very good opportunity.
That was a glaring opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, for me, I think the thing, I don't know. I never got the feeling in any of the Ulm fights like, oh, this is his plan. Like he ended up getting into a good. I think one thing he did well was like when it did get time to be for him to have his first war for for like Marignon to have his second. It was kind of good diplomacy. Like he had Utgard on his side. It was him and Utgard, and then I think even for a while Bogarus was chipping in. So it seemed like, how can he possibly lose in a 3v1 versus Marignon that wasn't even that big or that scary. But even in that situation, it wasn't. I mean, part of it was a surprise. Like he didn't know bloodletting and stuff was coming. Like that's always an unknown. Is like, what is your enemy gonna do?
I mean, nobody knows bloodletting's coming because who guessed that?
Right. But even then, like it wasn't super clear what his plan was. Like sometimes he had too much chaff, like the wolves, and then like he had the mages, but I never really remember the mages doing a ton.
Well, they burnt out. He burnt out his communions a few times.
Yeah.
The fights weren't terrible. Like he won a few major fights early on in the war.
Right.
But he was fighting against a Marignon who was, twice or three times his size.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, maybe this isn't that good because our memories are kind of rusty since it happened a long time ago in real time for us. But I don't remember him having major buffs online when the Marinese War started. Like, I don't really remember. It's probably on me. I don't really remember like something he got, which then allowed him to have he had flaming arrows, but that's not really a thing.
You're right. He didn't have any major buffs.
Right. So normally you need a thing that you're going to do. Like, what is the plan? And the plan,
I think his plan was, honestly, as LA Ulm, it's not, I mean, you have communion, so technically you can do anything, but the paths that you research, like it's not super obvious what buffs you're going to go for. Like you're either researching blood, maybe you're researching evocations. And so that's not quite enchantment or alteration for your buffs. and he had that war where you might have one tech tree down to 6 or 7, but that's it. And so I think his plan was crossbows, flaming arrows, a ton of mages, communions. Let's just delete everything, and we'll have wolves in front to absorb it. But then his communions died because he didn't have the right slaves, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that is a plan is not necessarily sufficient to have, like, you don't, this, I guess what I'm getting at with the plan. Like, when you have a plan, your plan is how you're going to decisively win a major fight. And there was no scenario through which he would decisively win a fight because he was not putting up spells which would give his troops of equal number an amazing advantage over the Marinese troops of equal number, I don't think.
No, and in fact, they were like, because Marignon could have had, he didn't, but he could have had like Arrowfend up.
Right.
At that point in the game, right? If you're Ulm and you're like, ooh, crossbows, then don't pick like an air nation or a nation that has air access to go against.
Yeah, and your crossbows, their shelf life is not very long. So if you decide to mass crossbows, that is not the Turtle Ulm strategy, really. Like, I mean, you can have them as a protection force, but I mean, you need to use them before stuff like Arrowfend comes out.
Right. So if you're going crossbows, you should target Gath or Utgard because they don't have any air magic forever. Like, it's impossible for them to get air unless they got crystal, Amazons or Pretender.
But so, for new players too, I hope you learned something because you learn a ton in your first few games, and like a lot of times for new players, they don't even know what all spells. I mean, because there's a bajillion spells, right? So you don't even know what spells are out there. So yeah. Anyway, any closing thoughts on Ulm?
Yeah. Well, like, go have your first war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, closing that parenthesis.
Yeah.
I think we're
gonna go to next turn, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the next turn.
I tried putting up Gifts of Heaven. If I take down... Wait, what? Trying to put up Gifts of Heaven, and if I take down Illwinter by accident, I'm going to teleport my god onto your cap. I swear to God.
Gifts of Heaven...
Isn't a spell. What did you try to put up? Gifts of Health.
Gift of Health.
Okay. That's funny.
Gift of Health is a very solid choice for Utgard.
Yeah. Doesn't he have regenerating dudes?
Yes.
So that's like
he
double
has regenerating
the
giants. Yeah.
Messages arrived from Bogarus. Yeah. Can't remember if I told you. Rog and I have made peace. Ha, dude, we called it the turn.
Yeah.
We're such good casters, Sakane.
I'm telling you, we should do this professionally.
Yeah. Raga's trying to collect pearls to dispel astral corruption, but it looks like so this is interesting. Raga's trying to do it because he has all these Jim globals up.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it'll only be 350 or so. Probably not enough. I think it may hurt Raga and Atlantis more than me. True. Truer words have never been spoke.
Interesting. Well, but that's interesting because that means Bogarus thinks, like, I don't see a great blood economy from Bogarus.
Yeah.
And as a human communion nation, astral corruption is crippling because your guys die to like the smallest horror kills your mage.
Well, I mean, they kill. Honestly, I think humans kind of get off, like, cheap mages actually kind of gets you off a little easy. Like, Atlantis gets wrecked even harder because, like, these guys are still going to die to horrors if they make anything, but they're way more expensive. So, like,
that's a.
The way I see it, once you have astral corruption up, is you now have to pay a tax every time you make an item, and the tax is the cost of, like, the gold cost of the mage to make it. So if you have cheap mages, it's a low tax. If you have high mages,
Yeah, okay. I see that.
These guys actually wrecked the horrors. Like, this is a lot of horror summoning. This was at least 3 casts. I think this was 3 lesser horrors. Does nothing.
Yeah, Forgiving Fathers. Was it just Skeleton spam?
No, it was. It's actually one of the best things against horrors is Frozen Heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Frozen Heart is so good. It's like, even for the horror apocalypse and stuff, like for Cataclysm, when you have Doom horrors coming, Frozen Heart wrecks Doom horrors.
Yep.
You wouldn't think that, the lowly Frozen Heart, but look at it.
Dude, Frozen Heart is a great spell.
Yeah. All the water magicators, just watch this.
Guys, water magic is good.
Right, well, some liquefies too. Okay. So, coming over...
So...
Maybe we start from the Atlantis perspective a little bit, because Atlantis kind of been beaten back.
I think Atlantis is very happy that marignon all of a sudden is clearly attacking Raga.
Yeah.
And so I think Atlantis is trying to avoid a big fight because he can't win it. But he's just going to keep raiding from the water and hope to God that Raga doesn't come and attack his capital.
I mean, he's also the throne leader. He's still the throne leader for...
Yeah,
so,
but he has no way of... Well, he's trying. He's trying hard. Look, he's trying to retake that coastal throne.
Yeah. Which one?
The one that he lost to northeast. No, that's northwest. Whatever.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying really hard.
Oh man, if he gets this one, it's very reasonable for Cataclysm to knock out 2 thrones and he wins.
Yep.
So you're right. That is awesome news for him.
But his cap is completely surrounded. Now, fortunately, the Raga Doom stack is still patiently waiting to the north.
Right.
But that Raga Doom stack, I don't see how Atlantis takes that throne given that Doom stack, right? I don't know.
Well, he's got his monolith on it. He's hard committed now. This monolith cannot leave.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
When you teleport your monolith on top of a fort you want to take, that is as hard of a commitment as you can possibly make.
Well, okay, so then we're definitely gonna look forward to those battles. But things aren't looking good for Atlantis because although Marignon is also attacking Raga, we think that Bogarus is going to attack Marignon, right?
Right, which, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, Chaos... Oh, wait, what the hell? These guys were here and they moved south.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Bogarus is doing right now.
If I were Bogarus... Okay, maybe this is what's happening here. If I were Bogarus, I'd focus on getting a blood economy going. With AC up.
Yes.
And it looks like that is what is indeed happening.
Oh, that's just like a massive blood hunting party?
Yeah. So I think what Bogarus has done, now I don't know what this has to do with the army coming back, is they've pieced out, they've set themselves up in a position to fight Marignon, and I think they're focusing on getting some blood hunting operations going. That's what they have here. They're getting some Bone Fiends too, which was one of the summons we talked about them getting.
Yep.
And also, we haven't really talked about it, but Bogarus has a lot of Firebirds now.
Yes.
So... it's not a lot. I mean, like a lot. The way I would think about this, if they have about 200 Firebirds, or probably it's about 170, I would think of that as being about like 6 gems a turn income, effectively. 7 gems a turn. Oh, wait, no. Let me think about it. So let's say they have, between this and this, let's say they have 200. That's going to be 4 events a turn. And if you're getting on average 3 or 4 gems,
so it could be like up to
12
10
gems.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like having a weak global up. But they have no other globals, so yeah. Okay.
I actually he just lost a global, right? He had stellar focus and it got overridden by
Right.
Gift of Health.
So interesting. Utgard now is they have the most globals. So they're number one in something.
Good for them.
And they're good globals.
Yeah,
Mother Oak, Illwinter, and Gift of Health are nothing to sneeze at. And a lot of the
absolutely.
nations left are fire nations. Like the strongest nations left, except for Bogarus, like heat.
Yep.
Kind of. I mean, Atlantis likes cold too, obviously. And it's had time to sink in. So now it's cold 3 everywhere. Like in Marignon, it's a heat 3. It's cold 3 everywhere. It's like fully gone into effect. If we look at the income score graphs, I mean, it has... Okay, Marignon's still doing mighty fine.
Well, because he's continuing to... He's been eating Ulm this whole time.
Right.
Right? And now he's nibbling into Raga. And he's also raiding underwater.
Yeah.
So Mario's being very proactive in terms of territory expansion. Yeah. But yeah, I think Bogarus does not intend to attack Marignon, or at least not yet. And we can tell that because Marignon is clearly not worried about Bogarus attacking him, because Marignon is running right into Utgard and into Raga at the same time.
Here's the other... This is going to be telling. If he takes this army and moves it here, that means he may be going on a play for this throne. How many thrones does he need? Because I think these guys might start... They're going to be shifting to looking at the game in terms of thrones for Cataclysm. So he might be thinking, okay, if I get one more throne, like if I can get this one and hold it, I have a shot at winning.
So Bogarus has 2 right now.
This one and this one.
That one that you just mentioned is within range. Oh no, he has 3.
He has 3. Yeah, he has.
Sorry, he has the other one on the border. Yeah, if he gets that one, that gives him 4 thrones. That is Cataclysm worthy.
Yeah, that makes him a contender. Okay.
All right, that could be the play.
So did I miss anything? Was there some action we missed?
I don't think so. Let's... Fallen Angel killing stuff.
Yeah, not bad.
I think that's it.
Okay, let's go ahead and do next one. Okay. So Atlantis retaking their cap circle.
Raga still chilling in that province.
Yeah.
I mean,
They've moved a contingent out, but not a huge contingent. And this is like an all-in commitment from Atlantis.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Raga is thinking here.
Yeah. But there's definitely no world where you let this go, I don't think.
Like, what else is he planning to do with that army? Is he trying to maybe strike at the throne to the north, like the Atlantis throne on the coast to the northwest of there? Like, does he have stuff in position to fight that?
That could be it. Maybe.
Because
but, I mean, he
now,
can...
Yeah,
he
but now Marignon is
could...
being annoying on that front. I don't know.
No, I mean, I would worry about losing this, though. This one, I don't actually know if Raga can defend.
I don't think he can. And I think, actually, that's probably the whole point of Marignon's offensive here, is to take that throne. I don't think he cares so much about Utgard. He just wants to get that throne.
Yeah. But, I mean, but this is all free. I mean, look at the millet. There's, I mean, again, it's depopulated, but there's nothing here.
There's also, like, Marignon is attacking Bogarus now. Marignon's just attacking everybody.
Wait, Marignon's attacking Bogarus?
Yeah. I mean, he's attacking literally everybody.
Oh my gosh, he's gone berserk. Let me make sure he's not AI. I'm sure he's not actually. but I just have to check because that's like what the AI does.
Yeah, right.
Do you actually know the single player algorithm for if the AI declares war on you?
You exist.
No, it's if they own any province which has ever traded hands between your nations, then you're at war. I think that's how it works. Or if you own any province which has ever traded hands. So basically, if any province has ever traded hands, then you're at war.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marignon's fighting everybody, but I don't think he's trying to conquer anybody. I think he's just positioning for thrones.
Yeah, which is a wise time to do it. I mean, this is the time to make plays. But okay, so tell me what you think Marignon... Let's start in this front, because here he's picking a fight with Bogarus, and he seized this army.
Oh, Bogarus just cast 3 red seconds on the on that province to the right of the one you have selected.
Oh, so he's
planning that.
He's going for it.
I mean, they might have just ended their naps too. Like, it might just be like Bogarus has ended the nap, and so Marignon's like, well, fine.
Yeah, I'll attack then.
That's probably more likely, because honestly, where Marignon just attacked doesn't make a ton of sense in terms of thrones. I mean, he's securing like around that Atlantis underwater throne, but that's hard to take underwater.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, look, Bogarus is attacking me. I have these guys I can...
Utgard's whole cap circle.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, I didn't realize. I mean, he has gone completely berserk.
Well, I don't think he cares about Utgard's cap. He just wants the throne south of Ulm.
Look at his provinces.
Yeah.
He gained 20% provinces in one turn. Like, for that to happen on turn 80 is crazy.
Well, he is literally attacking every player in the game.
I love it. I absolutely love this.
So he's surrounded. So actually, I really like what he's done here with Utgard, because he's surrounded Utgard's cap circle, but that is to slow the stack of giants in the cap circle to allow him to take the throne to the north.
Yeah.
So he has split the army in two, and I think he thinks, we'll see, but I think he thinks his stack can take on that stack of Garmherdings. Now, I don't know if that is true.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're not berserkers, right? The Garmherdings?
Oh, they're definitely berserkers.
I do not remember.
Oh yeah. It's one of the things, because like on one hand you kind of I forget you can't recruit them anymore. It's like the new Jotunheim or the new Utgard. Wait, no, they do have Garmherdings, don't they?
Yeah, it's the one on the right.
Oh, here we are. Okay.
They're berserkers
berserk too.
No, because I was thinking blood rain, but
yeah.
I'm sure he has a plan. He'll just bloodlet.
I mean, yeah.
Bloodlet them all.
Yeah, just finally an army that Marignon can't bloodletting to death. If Marignon tries to bloodletting Utgard, I'm gonna fall out of my chair.
Yeah.
I have to say, bloodletting has not been effective this game very much at all.
I mean, there was 1 or 2 battles against Ulm where
it was like kind of okay, right? It was never decisive, was it?
Well, the problem is that there were more battles where it hurt him a lot more, but there was that one battle where he pulled it off really nicely.
Okay, you probably right.
But yeah, I think in total it was not fantastic. Okay, Marignon is attacking everywhere. I think probably just because people are also attacking him. I think everybody's attacking everybody at this point because it's about to be Cataclysm.
So wait, let's do a Diplo overview. Marignon literally at war with everyone, and including Atlantis. Literally everyone.
Literally everyone.
Raga at war with Atlantis and Marignon, but not Bogarus.
not Bogarus. They pieced out, and I guess not.
And not
well, no,
Utgard.
that's it. Yeah, not Utgard.
Bogarus only at war with Marignon.
Correct.
Now, Bogarus is in position 1 in several ways. We don't have their latest score graph, but they're like, and maybe they lost a little bit, so maybe they're down here, but they're like income because
their economy's doing well. Yeah,
a cold nation. Yeah, maybe not in blood income. Gem income we can't see, but in research they probably were ahead in research. I mean, they research so fast as a nation. They took a what? Oh, this was the army they lost a few turns ago. Bogarus is positioned, I think, to have a very good war against Marignon, potentially. Like, because Marignon's fighting everybody, and Bogarus is definitely his equal in power and is only fighting him.
And Bogarus has a very specific target in mind, which is that throne. Now, unfortunately, Marignon does have a large army nearby.
Right.
Which does not appear to be needed elsewhere at the moment.
Unless he wants to take Utgard's cap, which is probably a lower priority than protecting a throne.
Yeah. So that'll be that. I mean, that gives Bogarus a potential 4th throne, which is a good position to be in. Atlantis has a potential 4th throne, or right. 5th throne even, because he has 4, because he's underwater, because that's fair. Right. What's Raga's throne situation?
I just want to point out, by this point in the game, it no longer guarantees Atlantis control of thrones, like underwater thrones. Like especially the blood nations, like you can get blood summons, which are pretty good underwater. You know, bang for your
storm
buck.
Demons?
Yeah, they're really good underwater.
Yeah, I guess.
But I
mean, you need blood. You need a blood air to get them, right?
Yeah.
Well, which actually,
he'd have
fortunately,
to empower, but it's not a big
deal.
But
fortunately, Raga has that, and I think does Bogarus have blood air? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Atlantis, the 2 blood nations in the game happen to be blood air, which is not always the case.
But I mean, storm demons are particularly good underwater, especially for like sieges, because they can go through fort walls because they're ethereal. Yeah. But all the demons are pretty good bang for your buck, so that if you're going to do barrel of air or whatever to, put an army underwater, they're going to bring a lot of punching power for each, air breathing slot they take up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I like Bogarus's throne situation. I think Marignon has a plan for thrones, which is try to get all of them from everyone. Atlantis. Yeah, okay. I mean, I appreciate that he has a plan.
Yeah.
Atlantis has a great throne situation because it's underwater.
This one's very exposed to Marignon.
Yeah.
There's not a lot over here.
I don't know what Raga's throne plan or situation is. Actually, strangely,
Raga's
Raga's
kind of
throne situation looks bad. Yeah. Because that's not going to stay.
I mean, it's questionable with his recent army movement whether he can hold this. This one is going to get taken.
Yeah.
This one he might be able to take, but so far hasn't been able to, and it's not in any way guaranteed. Oh.
All right, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Okay, we're on turn 81, so turn 82. The horror is back. One thing that's also happening with Astral Corruption up is all the nations that have been using lightless lanterns to research all game are getting punished pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Marignon was bitching about that in the game chat, which was kind of funny.
Oh, for sure. Marignon would be, like, every mage has lightless lanterns. I bet.
Okay, so let's cover this from Marignon's perspective, because that's going to be most exciting since he's fighting everybody. And we can just do like a big circle around Marignon and see what's happening.
All right, so we'll start, I guess, to the east there.
Right. So raiding Raga, and this is now getting like close. Where's Raga's cap?
No, Raga's cap is right. He's raiding into Lemuria.
Yeah, he's
right
raiding
now,
into
basically.
Lemuria. Holy shit! 2, 4, 5.
What is this
6,
province?
7. Oh my god!
What is that province?
And
Oh
this
God.
one?
Yeah, that's a throne there.
I mean, these
Wow.
two provinces are like the best global in the game. I mean, these are like almost. I mean, it's like 15 gyms between these two provinces.
Jeez.
Holy shit! It's one of those things you stumble on it. You're like, why was I not fighting for this earlier?
Right, exactly. See, we should have been killing Lemuria. So he is taken that with his little demon army. That was from Utgard.
Yeah.
And that, I imagine, is now going to go and take the
throne.
The Raga throne.
And this is scary. What is he scripted with? He's got some blood slaves on... The fuck? You gotta be careful, dude. Send this guy in. This guy doesn't even have a thug kit, I don't think. Oh, he kind of does, but... I was thinking that guy was more of a caster.
Okay, so that's on the Raga front. And then I guess if we continue the circle...
I'm circling up and counterclock. I'm circling counterclockwise, so...
Okay. So what's going on? Yeah, in Utgard. Well, is he making a move on the big throne? Not yet, right?
No.
To the north?
Wait, which one?
Yeah, like, because we're assuming,
yeah,
we're assuming that's going to happen, but it hasn't. Actually, I want to point out, I like how Utgard is now moving out. He's doing little armies of like one priest and like 10 Garmherdings or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is a very solid raiding and counter raiding task force.
Early. I don't know how it does against fallen angels, though. And if a fallen angel murders it could be they murder fallen angels. I'm just not sure.
I don't know if we've seen that yet, but that'll be interesting to find out for sure.
Marignon actually
with the
looking like they're severe, like very far ahead in blood economy.
Yeah. Well, they got into blood really early.
Yeah.
Father Illerith.
Utgard making big plays.
But these are... Oh, I bet most of them don't get blessed.
Well, these guys in the front are just normal idiots.
Yeah. As opposed to the special idiots.
Yeah, the special idiots in the back. And then over here, we have
Father Illerith.
Let's
see the kit here.
The highest res model that Illerith has... that Illwinter has ever made.
That's a good kit. That's questionable.
Very questionable.
Very questionable.
Let me go into why this is questionable. First of all, it's very expensive. And it casts Iron Skin, a buff this guy can already cast. But further, Iron Skin actually is not very good on Father Illerith because his base natural protection is like 18. You don't even really need to cast Iron Skin on Father Illerith. You can if you're not worried about lightning or you have chakras built into your chassis. But this is like extremely not needed.
Yeah, there's so many better... Yeah. I mean, look, just a fire hat would be fine. Like your Marignon, right? Like
yeah. Otherwise, the kit's good.
Yeah. Oh, damage reversal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And reinvigoration. Yeah, good script too. Goes into this with no fatigue.
33 regen a turn. Casual.
Blood Vengeance.
Has lost his shield already, though.
Yeah, Vine Shield versus Giants doesn't last very long.
It wasn't the Vine Shield, it was the Sculptata Volturnus, which is normally one of the more durable ones.
Well, they're still Giants, I guess.
Yeah. Should cut that shit in half.
Also, he has very low defense, so the shield is like taking each one of those giant hits.
Yeah.
But apparently you don't need a shield.
Yeah, shields, in my opinion, better for thugs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if you've got a very high hit point regen-based thug with high protection, you kind of are better off with, like, another weapon. Or maybe there's a two-hander.
Yeah.
That gives you an extra effect. You could do, like, a life-stealing two-hander.
But, for Utgard's first appearance that we've seen, because he did have a save for one of the Atlantis thrones where he made a kind of a big play.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to commit. Like, at the beginning of the game, your troops are a resource which you use to, like, kill and take things. Towards this part of the game, they're a little bit of, like, I don't want to say a liability, but there's something you have to protect. Like, they are not the thing that protects you. Your troops are something you have to protect from shit like this eating it. So anyway, when you leave, when you bring this many troops around, you need to have guys protecting them. Like,
you need buffs.
Mages. Yeah.
I have not seen this whole game a single Utgard mage.
No. But this is how you learn. We've got a Scrotty. Holy shitballs.
Oh my god. Quick, click on it.
Eat your fucking words, Sack. Eat your words, a mage.
Aw, he's got...
Casting spells.
He's doing water elementals. Look at him go.
Eat your words.
I apologize.
There we go.
I take back everything I said.
Okay.
So that's a Scrotty casting water elementals. That could have happened 60 turns ago.
Yeah, but that was living water, I'll point out. But yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But like...
You're right. But this
better
too,
late
you
than
remember
never.
you were saying, like, okay, he's moving out with small little raiding parties and that's good. The thing is, you have to understand the sea you're swimming in. And the sea you're swimming in has fucking devils in it, and it's got Father Ill-Earths. It's got a lot of nasty shit in it, which are going to not care about Gamherdings.
That's a
Fallen
fair
Angels.
Point. At this point in the game, maybe... but that's because he's playing against like an opponent that's like 3 times his size and also like 3 times more developed, in terms of his blood economy. Like, I think given what Utgard has at his disposal, this is like the best thing he can do. But ideally, Utgard would be like, he'd have Scrotty or he'd have whatever, right? Like, he could have his own...
Well, I mean, he could have Scrotty and Gamherdings, because then...
Yep.
Like, the anti-Scrotty things are not going to deal very... Like, if it's specialized to only kill Scrotty, it's not going to do very well against a Scrotty designed to kill, like, an anti-thug Scrotty, designed to kill Fallen Angels. And the 10 Gamherdings.
I was going to say, the thing, and also, like, a Scrotty that's designed to kill Fallen Angels is going to do okay against, like, a small sailing human raiding party.
Yeah.
So, too bad he doesn't have more Scrotty. I say that now, but watch next turn.
Yeah,
and Scrotty come out.
The thing, too, is this series has been coming out while they've been playing the game. It was, like, very delayed at the beginning, so they haven't had a chance to see any of our videos. But
now
by this point in the game,
up,
they've gotten to see us talk about all the stuff. So
that's true. Some of the players were a little bitter at our commentary.
So there's no reason now that we shouldn't see a Turbo Communion. That's basically
all right,
Scrotty
let's see it. Okay, so that's basically that on the Utgard front, a little back and forth. On the Bogarus Marignon front, I guess nothing.
All right, we were doing the circle. How did we do? We got up. Well, it's kind of hard because they almost go north to south here.
But you were going counterclockwise. Yeah, that's why I was into Bogarus now.
Small rating from Bogarus.
Yeah, I think it's just rating and counter rating. I don't see anything too significant. Bogarus moving in position for the big throne.
Now, Marignon basically has to move here, or he risks giving up this throne. Right? Like, he has to move this turn.
Finally. Well,
Raga moving part
finally.
of the Zayedins out, but not all of them. And the fort is cracked, so... I
Now,
don't
but
know
those
if
are all
these
flyers.
guys
You
can.
might be able to.
Yeah, to make it.
You might be able to bring it. Okay, so the next turn is going to be very exciting for that battle. Do monoliths participate in this storming?
Yeah, they can storm. Because Karnanak in Hellenica.
Oh yeah.
That's how I know. I have been stormed by monoliths. An entire army of them. Okay.
Okay, and I guess meanwhile, I'm just noticing Atlantis doing a good job pushing back at the borders of Raga, kind of on all fronts.
Yeah.
Elsewhere too.
And
like he's even in Raga's cap circle.
Oh really? Yeah. Dang.
I mean, not for long. He has no reason to be there.
Loses some troops up here though.
Yeah. Well, that's just chaff, I think, but still a pain to lose.
I wonder how they're commanderless.
That's not,
I wonder if they got assassinated. That's kind of
it must be.
like happened.
Must be.
Okay. Which it can just happen. Well, no, they would have to be horror marked in astral corruption or cast a spell. But once the cataclysm happens, then mages can just get yoinked at random. I don't think for astral corruption. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach. Astral corruption, your mages won't get yoinked at random. They have to be doing something.
No, they have to do something. As far as I know, they have to do something. All right, I just looked through the messages. I didn't see anything else.
Okay.
Major.
So let's go to 83. And if this is a good one, maybe we have a kind of shorter episode. We can end it here.
Sure. Oh, a dire portent.
A global enchantment.
Blood Vortex has taken out his own astral corruption, which took out the original Blood Vortex.
He's had like no globals, and every time he casts it, it takes out his own. What horrible luck.
Oh, God.
His chances of that, there's 6 global slots, so it's a 1 in 6 chance each time, so it's 1 in 36.
God, that's hilarious. All right.
Okay, so let's look at Atlantis Raga, because that's where this starts off. Oh my gosh.
That's interesting, because on that front... Right, that's weird. That happened, but I don't think... Looks like Raga
going
didn't
in on the
commit
main
to
battle
defending.
here. Oh, he didn't fight.
So Raga did not defend that.
He could have killed this. I mean, this isn't the monolith and the stuff outside, but still. Why would Raga give up this throne? I really cannot understand it.
Well, yeah, we're not seeing the whole army, I think, right? He didn't storm with everything.
But
so, I mean, I don't disagree.
It's 270 and that's a 170, and so it could be even a scouting report. This might be like it's at least 70% of the army.
Yeah, I think Raga. Well, Raga has Vine Ogres. I think he could have taken it with the flyers.
Yeah.
Now it does look like Raga has focused more on the north, right?
All right, let's go over there.
Like, cause he's closing in now on.
Oh, yeah. He's like, okay, you may get that one back, but we're taking this one from you.
Yeah.
Looking pretty dire for Atlantis here.
For sure. Okay, I don't see anything else regarding Atlantis. Nor regarding Raga, really. It seems like that's mostly a 1v1 right now.
Right.
I guess, yeah, let's go Utgard versus Marignon.
Okay. Marignon heading underwater with Father Ilwerth.
Interestingly, Marignon...
There's not much happening. Oh, no, this army's...
Yeah, so Bogarus did what we... Yeah, so that's what we thought was going to happen, right? Bogarus moved onto the throne, but Marignon moved south to, like, intercept it.
Yeah.
Marignon... Remember he had that demon army, which we thought was going to go take that throne from Raga, but it has not moved there.
Here, bookmark that real quick. This is the This
This
is the
is the
Bogarus
Bogarus
army.
army.
Pretty scary. But also cold 3 now. Oh, but Illwinter's still up.
Yeah,
Very vulnerable army to Murdering Winter.
but Marignon doesn't have water.
Oh, that's true.
Now, the thing I was going to say is what this is lacking compared to what we've seen from Marignon is Marignon has some really high quality, like super mages from Blood, mostly. Yeah. But those have been mostly on the other fronts. It's not clear to me that Marignon actually has any in this army that's going to come.
Yeah,
right?
We see
so it might
mostly
just be
Diabolists and Chart Makers. Okay, those are both of his low tier mages.
Yeah. Now, Flying Angels, they fly far, so he might be able to bring stuff.
But a lot of this, like crossbowmen, heavy crossbowmen, seriously, it's turn 80. These things are useless.
Well, but he's just had those. Like, that army's been in that fort forever.
Yeah.
Kind of watching over Utgard. So this is not like an army that's seen action for the last, 40 turns.
But this is weird. I mean, this is not something that, like if you and I were fighting each other at turn 80, we would never have armies of crossbowmen squaring off. It just would never happen.
Yeah, but I think this is this is the backfield, right? This is what Marignon had here. So I don't think if he had to make an army now, he would make this army. That's just what he had. So he's actually probably happy to trade them in.
Yeah. I think by turn 40, 50, you look to kind of spend all your crossbows. That's how I think about them. You've got them. They're a depreciating asset.
Yeah, I think it depends on the matchup. Because as long as they don't have air, crossbows are good to go.
Well, no, but I mean late game, once Army of Gold comes out, you don't even need air. You need air or earth.
Yeah, sure. Air or Army of Gold, fair enough.
Yeah.
But not the Army of Gold is deep earth too. So it depends on not all nations have good counters to crossbows.
Okay, so
all right, but nothing
battle
major.
brewing. Maybe we do one more turn because I want to end on a good one.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't much that turn. Let's see, 84.
There was this one.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's worth watching. It's kind of what you would expect.
Oh, Fallen Angel runs into Bogarus and explodes.
Oh, this looks kind of interesting. Oh, Fallen Angel versus Astral Mages. Doesn't go so well. Soul Slay. Rip. Yep, that'll do it. Just takes one MR check. I don't think we missed too much. Okay, so big things for next turn are these armies facing off, and then potentially Raga going back on this throne, and Raga going after this throne. Are there any other big things we need to look out for?
Well, Utgard.
Oh yeah.
Maybe versus, or rather, Marignon might go against Utgard.
Right. That's a good point.
On that other throne.
So turn 83. We'll pull up turn 84. This will be the last one. We get a bonus turn for this one. Okay, Hawks. Horrors coming in against Marignon.
All right, I looked at the messages quickly, and the only major one we have is the Marignon versus Bogarus.
Right, because that has to happen. Okay.
So Marignon, first of all, is able to bring a lot of his high-quality stuff because those demons travel super far.
Yeah.
And just looking at that tells me that Bogarus is in trouble.
Yeah. The crossbows, I bet you don't do them as nothing. The demons are probably going to get a lot of the kills combined. There's also a shit ton of blood slaves over here. Look at all this. It's 100 blood slaves easily.
All right, let's take bets. How many bloodlettings do you think?
I will say less than 5.
Well, okay, that's Sure.
I think 5's the over-under, right? Do you think more or less? Okay, what's your over-under?
No. I mean, I for sure they're bloodlettings. And actually, bloodletting is kind of like bone grinding. It's like a fantastic way to deal with Bogarus. And especially now that Marignon doesn't give a shit about his human troops, he's like, yes, please, more bloodletting.
Well,
So I think
yes and no. I mean, okay, how do you? Let's talk about how we counter bloodletting. The counter to bloodletting is, first of all, get off turn 1 anti-magic, because bloodletting is MR negates. Second, you can get off Fog Warriors, but bloodletting is magic damage, so it will pop Fog Warriors. But it will reduce the incoming damage from some of the bloodletting you take, because you'll take that 1 damage, I think. And then the other protection against it is Will of Fates. All these things Bogarus can do reasonably easily. But like you said, it's a little tricky on a communion. You have to like double cast it. And if you've got these demons, which are going to jump in your back line, good luck getting all your important spells off when you have a mage core that you just don't have enough troops to entirely protect.
not only that, but Marignon could just turn 1 bloodlight if he wants, because he has the big blood demons.
Oh, right.
Now he might not well, I see one actually. There's a Heliophagus there, so
And 4 is enough to do it, I think.
I mean,
Or no,
he might
is it
not,
5? It's bloodletting 5 or 4? I forget.
I forget. I mean, he might not actually do it, but if you're trying to script against bloodletting, and you know that Marignon is deep into blood, it could be a turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 anti-magic actually goes a long way to helping deal with bloodletting, though.
Yeah.
Which is something Bogarus can do trivially, because they've got
Now,
S2s or S3s.
Even if, for sure. Even if we ignore bloodletting, I still don't like this for Bogarus, because Bogarus is relying on a human communion to do Soul Slay and Thunderstrike, basically.
Yeah.
But there is not that is such a massive, just like crossbows, and just crossbows aren't fantastic, but it's going to take forever to kill all those crossbows with Soul Slay and Thunderstrike.
I mean, I think if Bogarus gets off all their stuff, if they get Army of Gold off, if they get Fog Warriors off, if they get Will of Fates off, if they can get off all the buffs, and they have enough mages to sit there and shoot, and they get Storm off, very important for the demons flying in the back, which they might not have expected. Then there's a pretty good chance, I think, that they could at least do a huge amount of damage.
But I think
it's a very fragile strategy, because if things stop happening... Oh, what's that?
Can we look at Marignon's army again? Because it looks to me like Marignon just has a bigger communion than Bogarus. It's a blood communion, but... Right? Look, that's 30 Diabolists plus the map maker dudes or whatever. It just seems to me that...
I mean, they're kind of outgunned, but...
Marignon has, the same communion plus more stuff plus all the blood stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bogarus is outgunned, but, I think if it doesn't go well, it's going to be an absolute massacre, and this army's going to kill nothing.
Right.
If it does go well, and Bogarus can get all their stuff off, they could put a major hurting on this Marinese army, but... I don't think you caught me saying that they would ever have a chance at winning. I don't think I ever went that far.
No, fair enough. Because Marignon is also theoretically going to put up all the buffs, right? So, all right, well, let's see.
Okay, I think we had Aerofin to go off. So that's pretty good to get off nice and early.
Good, because when you're fighting 300 crossbows, those can interrupt a lot of your communions.
Yeah.
That was like a swarm. That landed, I think.
Okay, Fog Warriors went off. That's going to help. Let's see if we have anti-magic already. Because if turn 1 anti-magic hit... Okay, they did do turn 1 anti-magic. Okay, both sides have Fog Warriors. We don't have any of the major protection buffs out, though, yet. We have relief cast by both sides. Here goes bloodletting. At least, okay, I don't know if we're going to be able to count sack. That was at least one.
Let's take a look at the buffs again, just to see what.
We just had the major buffs go off.
Yeah.
They both got Army of Gold off.
I don't see mass regen yet.
And nature is kind of a weak point for both these nations.
Yeah, but they have relief, so they can cast it.
But the X factor here is these demons that have jumped in the back line. And they don't care about Fog Warriors because they all have magic attacks. They don't necessarily have a ton of damage. I mean, these guys are going to have enough damage, I guess, to hit through Army of Gold.
Oh, he also has weapons of sharpness, right?
Oh, does he? I missed that.
That guy looks like, yeah.
Oh, man. They're going to chop through some stuff. Another bloodletting. That's 2.
I did see mass regen.
3. Wait, you saw mass regen? 4.
Well, I saw it in the text, so I don't know which side it was. Must be Marignon.
Oh, Bogarus starving, too. Feels bad, man. Yeah.
Yep.
And now, it's clear to the commanders of Bogarus that things are not going as planned. But these demons, I think, really are the X factor.
Yeah, because in a human versus human all buff slap fight, you really, like, in other words, like, the crossbows aren't going to touch the heavy cap.
Right.
But honestly, the heavy cap isn't going to touch the crossbows either.
Yeah. But the demons are getting at the damage dealers of Bogarus, which is the mages.
And honestly, there's just such overwhelming numbers of crossbows or whatever crap that it actually is getting through, like, the heavy cap. Now, partly, it's also, like, Marignon has a ton of mages, too. In fact, he has more mages than Bogarus. So that's also doing a lot of the killing.
Bogarus did get life after death off. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what's doing the killing. I think we'll really just have to look at the battle a bit. For, like, whether it was the mages or the crossbows or...
Yeah, but there's also, that can be a bit misleading too, because, you know, everybody's chipping in like 3 damage.
Yeah.
Right, and whoever gets the kill.
These pillars of fire are coming down.
I think Pillars of Fire is, I guess you don't see that many Fire Nations in general, but Pillars of Fire is a fantastic evocation spell. It goes right through all the everything buffs. I mean, you could have fire resist, fast regen, army of, you know, everything, and it'll still just delete you.
Well, yeah. I mean, delete is maybe a strong word, because it does, you know, it is going to be reduced by protection. It's a lot of AP fire damage, is what it is. But it is enough AP fire damage that it will get through. It's 35 AP. And if you're part of a communion, this will be a bigger number.
Yeah.
So that kills humans.
If you have 20 protection, that's going to be minus 10 damage because of the AP. And if you have 5 fire resistance, that's going to be minus 5. So you're minus 15. You're still going to be left with enough damage to kill a human troop, but not necessarily a ton more. But yeah, that's a good point. Oh boy.
So it not only, we should point out, Marignon also surrounded and got the other provinces to kill all the retreating troops. Not that there were any; they all died. But
the hypothetical retreating troops.
Yeah, how much did it cost Marignon? Not much.
Not much at all.
Even the mages, he didn't lose that many. Yeah, see, he had like 33 Diabolists, 22 chart makers.
So the
9 Adepts of the Silver Order.
Bloodletting killed 197, but I bet a lot of these were like blood slaves too. So, or you know, who knows? But
he had like 3 times more mages than Bogarus.
And then a lot of this would have been his own troops too, potentially. Oh yeah, he had a lot of mages. The devils, just because I think they were the ones that got weapons of sharpness cast on them.
Yep.
They went
which is a good place to put that buff.
Yeah, they went to town. I mean, a lot of them died too, but I mean, they just were on a killing spree back there. The Fiends of Darkness not nearly as killy in the backlines, which I think it had more to do with them not getting weapons of sharpness put on them.
Yeah, but that trident is a really high quality weapon for getting through armor because it's piercing too, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, complete destruction.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, look at the mage counts that were brought to bear. Like, there's maybe 30 mages total for Bogarus.
Yeah.
And they're all low tier mages. There's like
70.
30, only the Diabolists. Like, there's double the mages, and like they're all like a third of them are cat mage tier.
Yeah. Woo. Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a major ouch.
So I think that means it's not that Marignon's going to like invade and eliminate Bogarus, but it means that Bogarus, I mean, they could, but they might be busy doing other things. I think it realistically means that Bogarus can't win. Because just in terms of thrones and like cataclysm stuff. I think now Marignon is going to feel relatively confident taking on that other Bogarus throne on his border. Not the one you have selected, although he could go for that one too. But I'm thinking the one,
this one,
that one.
Yeah.
He's going to feel confident taking that. I'm surprised Marignon has not moved on the Raga throne that's near the Muria.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm very surprised.
I'm not sure what's going on there. They seem to have peace. Like, Raga was attacking everybody, but I don't think he's attacked Raga in a while. So there might have been a peace out that happened there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so...
But that's not a piece that I think favors Marignon.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. But maybe he was... Like, we were praising his, like, attack everybody attitude. But it could be that wasn't his choosing. It could be that things got out of hand and suddenly he was fighting everybody and he desperately diploed people to peace out, and maybe he overdid it. Maybe he wasn't expecting the success he would have. That's a mistake I make
a lot too. I've won so many games where people attack me and I'm trying to get them to stop, but they attack me to the point where like they just exhaust themselves and die. And looking back on it, I'm like, like I probably would have lost my armies if I attacked them, but waiting for them to come to me, that's actually how I won the game.
Yeah.
But I was like desperately trying to diplo to get out of it. But like sometimes, like for Marignon, he might have been in that same position, desperately diploing to try to get out of it. But it was like a very good, like this was free land with a lot of gems in it. You know, take it. And the throne, for heaven's sakes. Let's check in with Utgard.
Still raiding with the Gamherdings.
Excuse me. We had a scout here on top of this, so we get to see what is Utgard doing? This is probably a Marinese scout.
I'm not seeing a lot of mages, Utgard. In fact, do you see a mage?
Zach, don't make me say it. Grippa, come on, man. Show us some mages. Show us mages, damn it. All right. I mean, honestly, a fallen angel might have been able to kill almost all that.
I mean, what's he recruiting in the fort?
Yeah.
Like,
why do you make these forts if you don't make mages?
He's patrolling with the mages, but like...
Yeah.
Oh god, and it's Utgard. They have Sithkonas. They're like one of the best mages in the game.
Yeah. Sithkona are so good.
Literally.
They're like first round draft in the All-Stars picks.
Yeah, guys, we're not exaggerating. Like, there are like, a few mages that are like best mages in the game. Sithkona is for sure one of them.
Yeah. I mean, like Inari, which,
it's like better Inari.
Yeah, exactly. Inari, which Saramatia gets, which are widely considered to be one of the best mages in the game.
Exactly, which are already in the top 5. Like,
right. These are just like a strict improvement. They're so good.
Like, they're so good. They're so cheap. Unfortunately, God, they're so good.
They're so good.
And they're good in any quantity, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have, like, if you have 40 of them, that is scary as shit. But if you have 5 of them, that's also amazing.
Yeah.
All right, it's okay. Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Okay. Here we go. We have not seen a single Seth Connaught game. I think too this can happen if you, like, you and I spent so many hours playing this game. I think if you haven't played the game a ton, you could easily come into this roster and be like, look at these thick boys, and look at these thick boys, and look at, these really thick boys. Like, this is what I should be getting. Like, these are the good units. And you look at this heap of trash, and you're like, well, one path mages, why would I ever get that garbage? Like this.
Yeah.
I think you and I have like a very slanted view of this from having played the game a lot, where we look at this and we're like literally drooling over ourselves. But like, nobody who picks up Dominions in their first 10 hours of play is going to look at this and be like, oh, this is a good unit.
So yeah, that's a fair point.
This guy's not at 10 hours of play, but
yeah. But so the reason these super powerful mages are so powerful is because of communions,
right?
Which are not a super new player friendly concept,
right? In fact, quite the
particular,
opposite. Like,
sorry?
I intentionally avoided communions easily for my first 500 hours of play.
Right.
Easily. I think after 500 hours of play, I was like, maybe I can tinker around with some very safe conservative communions.
Well, it's so for the longest, I guess I'll digress a little bit, even though this episode is really long. But I think one of the first series I put up, or maybe an earlier series I put up, but up until like scarily recently, I thought that the communion, like, how there's like ascending powers of 2 that determine how much of a magic boost you get in a communion, right?
Right.
So if you have 2 mages as slaves, you get a +1, and then you need 4 to get a +2, but you need 8 to get a +3. But I thought that had to be the ratio of slaves to masters to get the boost. So in other words,
you would only have
not the number, but the ratio.
Oh no.
So I played for a long time, and I like MA Man, they have like nature communions. So I had these 16 slave with 4 masters, because
you're like, I want to get like the 3
I have to get the +4 boost, and I was
Yeah.
afraid that if I added more masters, I would lose. I just thought that's how it worked. So on the bright side, I never burned out my communions,
Right.
but they were like super diminished in power.
Right.
And I figured that out not that long ago.
The thing with communions is they're actually complicated. Once
They're
you
super
understand them, they don't seem that complicated. But even then, there's like small details I still don't understand. But the other part is, not only is it pretty complicated, but it's extremely punishing. Like, if you get it wrong, you die attacking like 10 PD. Like, you lose 10 mages.
And so what's so appealing about this mage is, it's communions, it's the paths, but understanding like there are good paths for communions for certain specific reasons, not only because of the spells you can cast with it, like offensively, that you want the fatigue reduction for, but also because of the buffs to the communion itself, from nature, from astral death, and that is very involved, and I totally get why it's not super obvious.
Like, you're
That
looking
being
at
said,
like relief
85 gold
and
for
like
11
personal
research is a
regen
pretty
and
good,
life after death and power of the spheres, and
Anyways, if you're playing Utgard, get Sith Kona.
The other nice thing too, I'll just mention before we get off Sith Kona, is a lot of nations like Marignon and Ulm, they're going to have a fair amount of off-path casting and communions, which can
is
easily, first of all,
unfortunate.
off-path communions are much harder to master than on-path because it's trickier, right? The math is harder. It's harder to have good rules of thumb. Seth Kona, like you're either going to have only Seth Kona or you're going to have Seth Kona with Scotty batteries, which there's some pretty simple rules for. But like if you have only Seth Kona communions, it's actually pretty simple, and you can burn them pretty hot because everybody has the same path, which is really nice. And it's also good for things like Power of the Spheres affecting slaves. It means you can burn it even hotter, which is a fine detail. But anyway.
And they're good paths. Like you don't.
Yeah.
Why would you need to off path? What
Right.
What do you need to do that isn't astral death or nature? Really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Yeah, Sith Kona are good.
Sith Kona are good. So, okay, Marignon attacking over here. They, like you said, they took all of the things. Basically, they've been on a huge offensive over here in this region. Not only did they win and fight this battle, they cut off retreat routes. They went aggressive over here.
now it looks like Raga has decided that the way he wanted to get this throne was to bait Atlantis into attacking it and
trap
then
them inside.
come on top and try to siege it down. So we'll see if that works for him in 2 turns, I guess.
We're getting close to Cataclysm. We're 6 turns away now, too. So next episode, or episode after, the Cataclysm is coming.
Oh, and Raga is also sieging that other Atlantis throne. There wasn't much.
Oh,
he didn't
but he
fight much on
defended.
the
I don't
outside,
know.
but-
Why would you defend this with such a shitty little squad?
Yeah, that is questionable.
Questionable. The best.
If he tried to move out, would it have triggered a fight? No, because he would have moved
Yeah.
immediately into his province, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, things looking better for Raga from a throne perspective because for some reason Marignon's deciding not to get this one, and he's probably about to get very favorable fights on both of these.
Yeah. That
And
gets
he's pressuring Atlantis' cap again.
Atlantis trying to take Lemuria in the meantime.
Oh man, loses an Angakok? Feels bad, man. I wonder if at least he had him twice born. Nope.
Nope.
Feels pretty bad, man.
So I think another running theme in this game has been
Atlantis hasn't done a fantastic job of like guard commander and having dudes in the back to catch the flyers.
Yeah.
A lot of mages have died to flyers. Okay.
Gath pretty depleted here too.
Well, Gath is more live than Ulm.
Gath did outlive Ulm. We have to give him credit where credit is due. So I think that's it for this episode. It's been a long one. Thank you guys for hanging in there.
Yeah, and plenty more excitement to come.
Yep.
As the horrors start to appear in a few turns. Maybe not next episode, but the one after that for sure.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Take care.
See you guys.